Hello, my dears. Today, we will dive even deeper into the nature of psychological issues and resources that a modern person can encounter. This video explores men and women, namely, answering the burning question, a concern of many people. Is there a difference between men and women, and how can it be utilized? A simple Google search will offer you loads of all kinds of sources stating that men and women are very different. That in order to understand men, you need to know their psychology. Various courses are offered on how to manipulate a man, how to find a man, trap him, make a millionaire out of him, and get happy. That same thing is relevant in regards to women. There are numerous courses and books educating men on the topic and claiming that men and women have different brains. For instance, the book that's the guide to understanding the opposite sex. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. People strive to find out the differences to be able to take advantage of them. In this video, I will attempt to ignore these myths, as I find this conversation about the differences between men and women deadlocked. If you're looking to use the information to manipulate your wife or husband, it won't make you a happy person. Clearly, I came across such situations many times. Even a person who knows the theory, knows how to manipulate men, understands the essence of male and female energies. And when this person starts using it, it gets even worse. As in an old Russian funny story, I drink more and more, but it only gets worse. Thus, I won't tell you that men and women are different. The physiological differences are obvious. I think the matter refers to men and women's social differences. Depending on the culture, these differences may vary. We live in a quite patriarchal society, but in Europe, for example, social views differ, and this topic is viewed through different lenses as well. Indian and Muslim cultures see it in their own unique ways. The question may arise, are their male and female brains very much different from ours? No, I think it's cultures that have a major impact on men and women's peculiarities. We talk about the main social goal that institutes and integrates concepts into men and women. In our culture, a man is seen as an achiever, chasing success, the breadwinner, the one who creates the skeleton, borders, and periphery for the family system, protects it. At the same time, a woman is responsible for creating comfort and a positive atmosphere. We kind of agree that we live in such a culture that is called patriarchal. We agreed to give a man a leading role, but then feminists come into the spotlight not satisfied with such an order of things. It does not really matter. I'm talking about the cultural agreement that we came to. I've met many families where a woman is a breadwinner while a man stays at home with kids, and they are both happy. It only proves that this is a question of cultural, but not psychological or morphogenetic differences. It is a matter of habit, a consensual habit of living in a certain way. It is well known on a cultural level. Let's take my profession as an example. In fact, I could say that the profession of a psychotherapist is a female profession. The main qualities attributing to the model that I'm developing are sensitivity, flexibility, awareness, warmth, attentiveness, care, and so on. All the qualities that are culturally associated with women. And indeed, 80% of people studying psychotherapy are women. It varies from 70% to 80% to 90% and up to 100% in some groups, so mostly women. Why don't we take a look back at the stars of modern psychotherapy and during the last 100 years? Actually, the whole discipline is over 100 years old. How many male and famous female figures have there been during its whole lifespan? Certainly there are women. There are genius women psychotherapists such as Karen Horney, Virginia Satir, Melanie Klein, Margaret Mahler, and so on. They are, for some reason, mostly psychoanalysts. But if we look closer at these women, we may notice that culturally, they acquired some men's conceptual models. Why is that? Is it because men are talented or more genius than women? No. But since 10,000 years ago, men used to hunt, confront other tribes, and bring home their prey. Now, in modern realities, the culture pushes men to succeed, earn money, and support the family. That leads to men becoming stars more often. Not due to natural instincts, but due to cultural expectations. They get more ambitious and have to meet the standards. Women play the role of a muse, creating comfort for men. As I pointed out earlier, everything is run by concepts. But that does not always happen. Many of you might want to be a muse, but can't, while others have no such intention and are not going to become muses, but still keep trying for some reason. I know some women attending trainings devoted to women's energies for many years. That makes them think that they need to inspire men to run a business instead of doing it themselves. Well, as their man was a loser, so he is. So what's going on? A woman seems to do everything right. Wears Vedic maxi dresses and dangling earrings, which sound scares all thoughts away. She works with her female energies to turn into mild-natured, inspiring, and worshipping her man and caring for him. But he keeps proving he is a loser. I've spoken with some of such couples where a woman seems to do everything right, but that only makes a man cower down even more. His head sinks into the shoulders. The whole idea that his wife refused to build her own career, compete with him, and start her own business becomes a burden. The level of responsibility has increased multiple times. This load is too heavy for him. Now you see why? I stick to the idea that I mentioned in one of my previous videos. Stop lying to yourself. Stop being somebody else. Finally be yourself. And if you are a woman who wants to earn money, do it. Just love the man. He will start making money too. He won't do this until you stop deceiving yourself and him by betraying yourself and your unique nature. Our cultural agreement on concepts doesn't mean it is in you by nature. There is something inside you that, when questioning yourself who you are, is instigating you somewhere. You can be great at inspiring your man, great at theory, the perfect muse for your man, but nothing changes. Why is it happening? There's only one reason why. It does not respond. The string that's inside of you is not touched by the things that you've drilled. Thus, it does not work. You see? It's not enough to learn. It's important to be like that. You don't even have to learn it. Simply be yourself. And in fact, from my practice, I noticed that the happiest families are always the ones where both partners do not try to pretend to be somebody else. It goes without saying that cultural concepts will still have an impact on your zone of development. A little kid will call for mommy after falling, while when it's time to go out to the altar or try a new sport, he may turn to his dad. Are you catching up? In the famous book by Leo Tolstoy, the dad escorted Natasha Rostova to the ball. A mother provides safety to her little child so that he knows she won't abandon him. The dad won't be able to do that. But again, the mother and father's roles are just cultural functions. If it was a father who took care of a child since his birth, he is technically the mother. It's not humiliating. These are just functions. The cultural set of concepts that a person identified with at some point in his life, and the child will act accordingly. The dad will show the world to his child. Look, this is the world, my son. Look, this is the world, my daughter. The dad will do it. It could be a mom as well if she identified herself with the concept set of a male. There's nothing terrible about it. It's not the gender differences that matter. More important is to avoid following the models prescribed to you by somebody else. Ironically, it's not rare when people who teach others to bring harmony to their relationship and create a happy family, even family psychotherapists, cannot boast such relationships or a happy family. Cobbler's children have no shoes. Most of them successfully train others, but something does not work out in their personal lives. Why? They lie to themselves. They deceive themselves. We are unique. We don't have to copy somebody else. If using female energy for manipulation worked for a Vedic woman 6,000 years ago, it does not mean it'll work for a modern woman living in Kiev or Moscow in the 21st century. You see what I'm saying? It may work as well. It's crucial that you listen to your heart, respond to it, and move in the direction it guides you. Don't try to follow someone else's steps and live the life of a woman who died 6,000 years ago. Can you see all the idiocy of this situation? Hence, if you start living your own life, open yourself to it while your man does the same. And if you are destined to love each other, the system will manage to create your relationship on your desired quality level. You won't need to lie to anybody. So as a summary, stop lying. That's the key to being happy, healthy, and prosperous. I've been training other psychotherapists for many years. I've noticed that young professionals who try to copy others, deceiving themselves and others, usually can't make much money. What trouble? Or take people who try to copy someone else's business and don't have much success. Unless it's a coincidence and it's their thing, some people are very much alike by nature, thoughts, and their living experiences moving in one direction. But in most cases, it does not work that way. You think you do it right, but all is in vain. That's why I keep saying that if you want to become a good psychotherapist, no matter to which gender you belong, follow your heart, follow your mission. That will make you the best therapist. That will make you wealthy. Remember not to lie to yourself. If you keep deceiving yourself, that will only leave you poor, sick, unhappy, and lonely. This is the key to understanding the nature of men and women. Drop the idea of finding conceptual models. They won't do any good for you. Moving on to the most crucial idea that I wanted to share in this video. That relates to both men and women. The key to discovering your male or female nature, just like to discover the path to someone's heart, if you really love them, lies not in the understanding of gender differences, but in the culture of their lives. I can't help repeating it. There are two types of cultures: the culture of deficit and the culture of plenty. Why don't all these ideas of finding the way to manipulate a man in pursuit of creating a happy family work? Well, what you're trying is to transmit those ideas being inside the culture of a deficit. You want to get something from this man. It's not bad. People need others. But if you want to get something from him, and all your actions are focused on receiving, you are totally locked in the culture of a deficit, which is, a priori, the philosophy of poverty. With some luck and happy coincidence, you may still get some semblance of a happy family, and even earn money, if the concepts nested inside your culture of a deficit are favorable to it. In this case, that might work. You've gathered a sort of karmic set of concepts, if you want to use this word, and can create a decent family. But in most cases, it is not going to work. Another culture or philosophy, the second way of thinking, living, feeling, and world perception, is the culture of plenty. All resources are already inside you. Just be the woman you want. Be the woman you can't help but be. Stop lying to yourself. Ask yourself what you are. What can you give to this man? If you're a man, what do you want to share with this woman? What is vital for you to share because you're overflowing with it? This is the key. Instead of sticking to stereotypes such as that a man falls in love through his eyes, a woman through her ears, try to think outside the box. What can you, Maria, or you, Dasha, personally, you, your partner or your child, what is the most important thing to share for you that will make you happier? Once you do that, you'll become happier. It's not clear how it'll affect your husband, but you will definitely get happier. It's a separate matter whether your husband accepts this or not. If he does not accept and get frustrated, then there is bad news for you. You think you are within a culture of plenty, but all you do is build codependent relationships inside the culture of a deficit. Try to do it without expecting a response. Try to do it because it's important to you. Your man will most likely become happier if you do it properly. This is the culture of plenty. If you are a man, what can you do for her? It's not because you have to, not because you want to feed on your happiness, not because it will make you feel like a real man or a real muse if talking about women who think they created their man. It's all the culture of a deficit. What do you want to do for your man, and what will make you happy? And that's brilliant. This is the beginning of the transformation from the culture of deficit to the culture of plenty. Everything vanishes. It was like a dream. You'll start to see that there are no differences between men and women. There's no difference among people at all. There are no people at all. There are only sets of concepts that people identify themselves with having expelled God from their lives. Even though I mentioned God, I stick to the pure pragmatism of psychotherapy. I need to say it to make your life cooler. Spiritual growth, religiosity does not necessarily matter in this case. Make your life better. Stop lying to yourself and other people. Ask yourself what you want to give to another person that will make you happy. If this becomes culture for you, the second and slightly more complicated question is, who's the person who wants to give her man something is? If these two questions become the culture for you, your life will drastically change. You will transform into a fundamentally different woman. You won't need to analyze the gender differences or be in a constant search of the right ways to educate your child, such as, I am a woman, I have to act like this, or you are a man and you have to do this. Let's agree on that. By agreeing to act in a certain chosen way, you'll only get exhausted. Open your heart to the culture of plenty and your life will dramatically change. Thanks for being with me. I hope this video may serve as a source for your development, and hopefully you will feel what I call the culture of plenty. That will make you much happier than before. My name is Igor Pogodin. I will catch up with you in my next video.